Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, India's government 3.0 completes 100 days in its record third term. Home Minister Amit Shah says government will implement one nation, one election within the present tenure. AAP leader Atishi set to become Delhi Chief Minister. She is elected leader of the AAP Legislative Party after Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal proposes her name for the top post. Supreme Court hears Kolkata rape murder case. CBI submits fresh status report to CGI bench while ED search operation resumes across Kolkata. Renewed push for peace in West Asia. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken to travel to Egypt to push for Gaza ceasefire. And in sports, China's men's hockey team to take on defending champions India in the final of the Asia Champions Trophy 2024. India's Narendra Modi government completes 100 days of the third term. Addressing media persons, Home Minister Amit Shah has said that one nation, one election will be implemented before the completion of this tenure.
उसको लेकर क्या योजना है और कब तक इसको लागू किए जाने की संभावना?
इसी सरकार के कार्यकाल में वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हम लागू करेंगे.
The Home Minister further said that for the first time after 60 years, there is an atmosphere of political stability in India and the country has experienced continuity of policies.
के बाद पहली बार कोई एक नेता तीसरी बार अपनी घोषणा के साथ देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनकर देश का नेतृत्व कर रहा है. 60 साल के बाद पहली बार देश में राजनीतिक स्थिरता का माहौल आया है और नीतियों के सातत्य को भी हमने अनुभव किया है और नीतियों की दिशा, नीतियों की गति और नीतियों को क्रियान्वयन करने की सटीकता, ये तीनों 10 साल तक बरकरार रखकर 11वें साल में प्रवेश करना मैं मानता हूं बहुत कठिन है.
The big announcement comes on the occasion of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 74th birthday. Citizens across the nation are making efforts to make the day a memorable one. Many organizations across the country have decided to celebrate it as Seva Pakhwara or the Service Fortnight. A local community commenced Ramayana recitation in the city of Varanasi for Prime Minister Modi's health and also successful leadership. The 24-hour-long continuous recitation of the Ramayana is being conducted with great devotion, symbolizing prayers for the Prime Minister who holds deep connection with the city and its people. Elsewhere, an artist from Odisha has crafted incredible sculptures of Indian Prime Minister and his late mother, Hiraben Modi, as a unique birthday tribute. This heartfelt tribute symbolizes the deep respect and admiration many hold for Prime Minister Modi and his family. On the occasion, international sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik made a sand art with installation of 2,500 diyas at Modern Art Gallery in New Delhi. The auction of over 600 gifts received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi will begin today, coinciding with his birthday. Now, this auction will continue until October 2nd, marking the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The grand auction will be conducted online and will be open to the public at large. Individuals keen to partake in this remarkable event may register and participate via the official website, that is pmmementos.gov.in. Mementos ranging from sports memorabilia to the 2024 Paralympic Games, shoes, a replica of the Ram Temple and a silver veena were the gifts received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they are being put for the auction. Now, this is the 6th edition in a series of successful auctions of Prime Minister mementos, initially launched in January 2019. Aam Aadmi Party leader and Minister Atishi will be the new Chief Minister of Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party national convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Tuesday had proposed the name of Atishi as his successor. The Delhi minister was subsequently elected as leader of the Delhi AAP Legislative Party. The Kalkaji MLA will take over as Chief Minister after Arvind Kejriwal resigns from the top post after a meeting with Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena this afternoon. A day after bail by the Supreme Court, the Aam Aadmi Party convener on Sunday announced that he would resign from Delhi's Chief Minister's post and attempt to clear his name through public opinion. The Supreme Court of India continues hearing on Tuesday on the matter where it has taken suo motu cognizance of the rape and murder of a junior doctor in Kolkata hospital last month. A three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India is considering the fresh status report of the CBI. The CBI on Saturday arrested Abhijit Mondal in connection with the ghastly rape and murder of a junior doctor. Mondal was in charge of the Tala police station where the body of the junior doctor was recovered from the seminar hall within the hospital premises on the morning of August 9th. Meanwhile, Enforcement Directorate has resumed its search operation across Kolkata in connection with alleged money laundering by ex-RG Card principal Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. In an official statement on September 10th, the agency shared details of the raids conducted by its Kolkata unit on September 6th at 7 premises. The raids were carried out at the residence of Ghosh and his close relatives and associates in connection with the financial irregularities case. The ED last month booked Ghosh under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The hope of doctors returning to duties in Kolkata rose after West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee accepted the demands of the protesting doctors on Monday. After meeting with protesting doctors, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had announced the removal of the Director of Medical Education and the Director of Health Services besides the Kolkata Police Commissioner. To tackle safety security measures in the hospitals, a special task force headed by the Chief Secretary has been formed to address any future grievances from the doctors. Talking to media, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee announced a 100 crore rupees allocation to improve infrastructure in state-run hospitals, including the construction of restrooms and bathrooms. Now, this decision addresses one of the key demands of the protesting doctors. She has appealed to the doctors to return to work. Banerjee said no disciplinary action would be taken against the agitating doctors. Also, the agitating doctors are on cease work across the state for 38 days since the gruesome alleged rape and murder of the postgraduate intern at RG Kar Hospital came to light on August 9th, crippling state-run healthcare delivery. The 8th India Water Week 2024 begins today with President Draupadi Murmu inaugurating the international event at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Organized by the Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Conservation under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, the event brings together water experts, students and industry representatives from both India and around the world. The program runs until 20th of September, focusing on water conservation and sustainable management solution.
हमारे समाज में जल संसाधन को बहुत मूल्यवान माना जाता है। ऋग्वेद की एक ऋचा है, अपसु अंतः अमृतम अपसु भेषजम, अर्थात जल में अमृत है, जल से औषधि है, यानी जल जीवनदायी अमृत की तरह है। मानवता के लिए तथा सभी प्राणियों और वनस्पतियों के लिए भी जल का आवश्यकता है।
And 24 constituencies will go to polls in the first phase of assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir on September 18th, that is Wednesday, for which campaigning ended on Monday evening. More than 14,000 polling staff are expected to be deployed on the duty for first phase of election. The voting will take place from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Also, voting will continue even after 6 p.m. if the voters' queue is still there at the polling station premises to enable the voters to exercise their right to vote. Also, multi-tier security arrangements are in place to ensure free and fair polls. For this, teams of CRPF units and state armed police and state police are deployed. The elections in the Union Territory are first since abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. The other two phases of elections will take place on September 25th and 1st of October. The results will be declared on 8th of October. Preparations are in place for conducting the first phase of assembly polls that will be held tomorrow. 24 constituencies will go to polls in the first phase of assembly elections. In Jammu and Kashmir, polling will be held in 3 phases. That is 18th of September, 25th of September, and also 1st of October. Counting will be held on 8th of October. DD India Shabir Dar joins us from Srinagar. Shabir, good morning. Get us all the preparations. Is the Union Territory all set to vote? 24 constituencies go to polls tomorrow. Very quickly, get us more preparations, though we've given a broad outline to our viewers just a while back.
This time after the abrogation of Article 370. And a lot of hopes and a lot of enthusiasm is being seen among the voters regarding these elections, because there has been no popular government in Jammu and Kashmir from last 10 years. And the assembly elections, which are happening for the first time after 10 years, people are very excited. And we have seen that all these, from last month when the dates were announced and the campaigning started, Kashmir was like, presenting a festive look, because we have seen rallies taking place in places where earlier there used to be no, poll activity. So obviously, it is a new Kashmir, and lot has changed in Kashmir in past few years. And the elections which are happening here, the assembly elections, are bringing new hope and aspirations in people, because people are seeing that their issues, which are certain issues which are long pending, and they will be able to get resolved through their elected representatives. And as the first phase will happen tomorrow, every arrangement is in place. The multi-tier security arrangement is there. Poll parties have been dispatched to all the polling stations, be it in the hilly areas, because the elections are happening in the south part of Kashmir, which constitutes at least 3 districts or 4 districts, including Anantnag, Kulgam, Pulwama, and Shupia. And there are many rural areas, many hilly areas in these districts.
Right.
And poll material, including EVMs and poll staff, has been dispatched to these, far-flung polling stations. Besides these, there are special polling booths set up for women, for youth, for physically, specially able people, and which will be manned by the pink polling booths will be manned by the women polling staff. Polling booths for specially able people will be manned by specially able people. So besides that, there are green polling booths set up in many places of Kashmir to set a message of of environmentally friendly elections.
Right.
Yes. So every arrangement, I can say, is in place. First phase of election is happening tomorrow, and it is the first election happening after abrogation of Article 370. High hopes.
Yes, Shabir. So high hopes
with these
there.
elections. Yes.
All right, Shabir, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details. And the nationwide campaign, Swachhta Hi Seva, or Cleanliness is Service, begins today, marking another step in India's relentless march towards cleanliness and sanitation. This year, the campaign will encompass activities across the country, focusing on community participation to ensure a cleaner and healthier India. Here's more on what the campaign entails. Take a look.
The Swachhta Hi Seva campaign, an extension of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, will be held from 17 September to 2nd October 2024 across the length and breadth of India. This year's theme focuses on active public participation in making cities, towns and villages cleaner. The drive will engage local communities, schools, organizations and citizens to take up cleanliness activities, emphasizing the role of every individual in maintaining sanitation. From urban centers to rural villages, volunteers will be participating in cleaning drives, tree plantation programs, plastic waste management and awareness campaigns. This initiative will run throughout the upcoming weeks with a special emphasis on waste segregation at the source, proper disposal and recycling. Citizens can register themselves on Swachhta Hi Seva portal. The campaign not only aims to improve sanitation but also to inspire a sense of duty towards the environment. With such efforts, the vision of a Swachh Bharat is not far from becoming a reality. As the Swachhta Hi Seva campaign kicks off on September 17th, it's a call for every citizen to join hands in keeping India clean. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, Donald Trump blames his election rival Kamala Harris and US President Joe Biden for the recent second assassination attempt on his life. In the aftermath of Typhoon Yagi, floods ravage areas in Myanmar, killing at least 226 people in just over a week. And in sports, Indian men and women continue their winning streak at the 45th FIDE Chess Olympiad.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that enabling residents to return to communities in northern Israel that have been evacuated due to attacks by Hezbollah in Lebanon is now a goal of the conflict in Gaza. This comes a day after the country's defense minister said that the only way left to ensure the return of the northern communities will be via military action as Hezbollah continues to align with Hamas. Tens of thousands of Israelis have been evacuated after Hezbollah stepped up attacks on Israel. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will travel to Egypt on Tuesday to discuss a Gaza ceasefire and release of hostages with Egyptian officials. U.S., Egypt and Qatar are top mediators aiming to broker a deal between Israel and Hamas. Now, according to the State Department, Blinken will try to ensure a deal to help establish border regional security. The biggest sticking point in these talks include Israel's demand to keep its forces in Philadelphia corridor to maintain a buffer between Egypt and Gaza. Earlier, Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid met Antony Blinken and pushed for a hostage release deal as he met him in Washington.
Thank you for being here. I just finished a long meeting with Secretary Blinken. Before that, I met with the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, discussing the situation back home in Israel and the relations with the United States, and most importantly, the hostage deal that needs to be taken. Israel needs the hostage deal and the end of the war, and no political process or political turbulence should affect the hostage deal. We have to bring them back home.
The United Nations General Assembly will debate on Tuesday on a Palestinian draft resolution demanding an end to the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories. The draft resolution demands an end to Israeli presence in the occupied Palestinian territory. The text, which has faced fierce criticism from Israel, is based around an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice calling Israel's occupation since 1967 unlawful. The resolution is due to be voted on late Tuesday. The draft resolution also demands the withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Palestinian territories and a halt to new settlements. Updates from Russia-Ukraine conflict now, with Moscow saying that it continues to carry out a significant counter-offensive in Kursk region. Russia said on Monday that its forces had retaken control of 2 villages in its western Kursk region from Ukraine. Russian forces have been battling Ukrainian troops since August 6th here, when Kyiv surprised Moscow with the biggest foreign attack on Russian soil since World War II. Ukraine says its forces control about 100 villages in Kursk over an area of more than 1,300 square kilometers, which Russian sources dispute. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, speaking in his nightly video address on Monday, said that he had discussed the situation in Kursk with top commander Alexander Syrsky, and every day we act as planned.
Доповідь головкома Сирського триває.
Over 100 battles have occurred since the beginning of the day, with the heaviest fighting in the Kurahovo and the Pofros direction. We are defending our positions. Regarding the Kirk's operation, we discuss it in detail, and every day we act as planned. I want to thank each of our brigades and units of their coordinate efforts and true resilience.
Кожній нашій бригаді, кожному під
The 58-year-old man, Ryan W. Routh, suspected of planning to assassinate Donald Trump, has been charged with 2 gun-related crimes in federal court. Now, according to court documents filed on Monday, the suspect may have been lying in wait for nearly 12 hours, hiding in the bushes with a loaded SKS semi-automatic rifle. The Secret Service said that Routh did not fire any shots and never had Trump in his line of sight. Routh was arrested on Sunday after allegedly fleeing the crime scene and is being held in custody on charges of illegally possessing a firearm with an obliterated serial number.
We're here to announce that Ryan Wesley Routh, 58 years old, of Hawaii, has been charged by a criminal complaint in the Southern District of Florida with firearms offenses related to an incident which occurred yesterday at Trump International Golf Course right here in West Palm Beach. Routh was charged federally with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession and receipt of a firearm with an obliterated serial number.
Republican White House candidate Donald Trump blamed his election rival Kamala Harris and U.S. President Joe Biden for the recent assassination attempt on his own life. In his interview, Trump asserted that Routh's actions were directly influenced by the highly inflammatory language of Biden and Harris. He further argued that the dangerous rhetoric and legal challenges he faces are fueling the actions of dangerous fools like Routh. While President Biden commended the Secret Service for its handling of an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump over the weekend and said that there is no place for political violence in America.
Let me just say, there is no, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, those of you who know me, many of you do, no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never. I've always condemned political violence. I always will in America. In America, we resolve our differences peacefully at the ballot box, not at the end of a gun. America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart. We must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen.
The new assassination attempt on Donald Trump has added to the woes of the Secret Service, which is already facing calls for an overhaul over repeated security lapses. We get you more details in this report.
The US Secret Service is facing renewed scrutiny after the second assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump within a span of 2 months. On Monday, a gunman tried to kill Trump while he was playing golf in West Palm Beach, Florida. Trump escaped unharmed as a Secret Service agent spotted the shooter in the bushes. The suspect, who fled the scene, was later arrested. In July, a shooter injured Trump at a public rally in Pennsylvania. Massive concerns over the security lapse led to the resignation of then Secret Service Chief Kimberly Cheatle. As for the Palm Beach incident, authorities have defended the agency, saying that the entire golf course was not secured as Trump is not the serving president.
The Secret Service's protective methodologies work, and they are sound, and we saw that yesterday. But the way we are positioned right now in this dynamic threat environment, it has given me guidance to say, you know what, we need to look at what our protective methodology is. We need to get out of a reactive model and get to a readiness model.
The defense has done little to curb criticism, with President Joe Biden saying that the Secret Service needs more help.
But one thing I want to make clear, the service needs more help. And I think the Congress should respond to their needs if they in fact need more services.
Originally established to combat counterfeit currencies, the agency today boasts of 6,500 personnel and is responsible for providing lifelong security to current and former presidents. But it now has an additional task of maintaining its public image amid calls for reform. Bureau Report, DD India.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced new measures targeting the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua during a news conference on Monday in Houston, Texas. Governor Abbott said that he has ordered the Texas Department of Public Safety to launch a statewide operation specifically focused on TDA. This effort will involve a collaboration between DPS, federal and local law enforcement agencies through Texas anti-gang centers. He also declared TDA a foreign terrorist organization. The governor also announced the allocation of over $100 million to support the Texas anti-gang centers over the next 2 years. Floods in Myanmar have killed at least 226 people in just over a week following heavy rains brought on by Typhoon Yagi. The areas hardest hit by the flooding include the second largest city of Mandalay, the capital Nay Pyi Taw, and also parts of Shan State, with 77 people still reported missing. In the Mandalay region alone, some 40,000 acres of agricultural land were submerged and some 26,700 houses damaged by the heavy rains and flooding. India, under Operation Sadbhav, sent 10 tons of aid, including dry rations, clothing and medicines to Myanmar on Sunday. China will take on defending champions India in the final of the Asian Champions Trophy 2024 on Tuesday. China's men's hockey team made it to the final of the tournament after winning over Pakistan 2-0 in the penalty shootout after the full-time score ended at 1 each. Meanwhile, for India, their semi-final clash against South Korea was a one-sided affair, which saw them taking the win with a 4-1 scoreline. India has remained unbeaten in the round-robin stage, whereas China has already lost 3 matches, making the visitors favourites to win the title for the 5th time. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both iOS and Android platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us at In Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.